and so forth. And the fork.
You must gain control.
No kidding.
Hey guys, it is Wednesday, February 8th. I don't really have any updates to give you, so what I'm going to do for today's vlog is give you a rundown of what I think is the best of Star Wars, specifically the best elements in each of the movies. Like which movie has the best cinematography, which one has the best editing, acting, dialogue, and so forth and so on. Now, we're going to start this off with cinematography, and this may come as a surprise to you, but the best cinematography in Star Wars is Rogue One. That's right, there is something I love about this film, and it's the cinematography. Gareth Edwards is nothing but a brilliant cameraman. He knows how to use lighting, angles, framing, everything to his advantage in order to tell the story. And while I was not a big fan of the movie itself, I could not complain at all about the cinematography of Rogue One. As far as editing goes, the best of Star Wars is actually a three-way tie between A New Hope, The Empire Strikes Back, and gasp, Attack of the Clones. That's right, guys. Prequel or no prequel, Attack of the Clones was one of the best edited Star Wars films. I'm doing editing by how well it flowed, and people don't like those fade outs. I love them. They help transition smoothly between scenes. George Lucas usually likes to start off a shot or start off a scene with an establishing shot so you know, okay, where you are, like you're at the villa on Naboo, or you are looking down at Mos Eisley's spaceport, and usually when it fades in or fades out, it lets you know where you are. It's standard cinematography, but it works very well for Star Wars. And the transitions between different emotions and tones are gentler than with some of the others. Empire Strikes Back is especially good with this because there's several conflicting emotions in there, but it keeps basically the same tone. The last third of it is kind of frantic and nail-biting, and you don't know if anyone's going to get out of it alive. Now, for best sound of Star Wars, I have to say it's Attack of the Clones. The mixture between sound and music here was absolutely perfect. It was not overly loud in places, but it wasn't overly quiet in places either. It was a very subtle mix of background sound, with the music and the dialogue being the star players. But Ben Burtt really pulled out all the stops for Attack of the Clones, and it shows, and it is, in these ears' opinion, the best sound of any Star Wars movie. Now for the best fight choreography, that one is hands down, no pun intended, Revenge of the Sith. That is one of the most amazing fights ever caught on film. And the fact that 90% of it at least was done with the actual actors, Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen, and they spent 11 weeks at least training with those lightsabers and getting really, really good with them. They are actually that fast. They're actually that good, which is scary. But that's what made it the best fight of any Star Wars movie. Yes, it was choreographed, but it was still one of the best fights. And the stakes were as high as they could possibly get. It was two best friends who were basically like brothers at that point, and they were fighting each other to the death. Close behind is the Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, and Darth Maul duel in Phantom Menace. That one, I mean, the choreography, the music, the way, oh, that, I love that. That is probably the best part of the Phantom Menace. It's so good. Best acted movie in Star Wars, I have to say it's The Force Awakens. Yes, there were moments where it was a little bit over the top, but let's face it, there's moments like that in every single Star Wars movie. And I have to say, overall, across the board with all the different actors, pulling off a believable performance with their motivations and everything else, Force Awakens definitely tops the list. And shining especially well were Oscar Isaac, Harrison Ford, and John Boyega. They were really good in Force Awakens. There's actually a tie between Force Awakens and Empire Strikes Back. The Empire Strikes Back, because not only is it well acted and well directed, but there's a whole bunch of character development in there with several different characters. You get to know them really well. And that also happens in Force Awakens. By the end of the film, you're rooting for the brand new characters. You like them. You want them to succeed. And in the end of Empire Strikes Back, you're worried. I mean, Han's frozen in carbonite. Luke just lost his hand. What's going to happen now? So yeah, it's really, really good. The best dialogue for Star Wars, that has to be also The Empire Strikes Back. I think it's Lawrence Kasdan's best work, and combining the base story of George Lucas with the writing skills of Lawrence Kasdan, plus the directing skills of Irvin Kershner, plus the ad-libbed parts by Harrison Ford, and that gives, hands down, Empire Strikes Back the best and least clunky dialogue of any of the Star Wars movies. It's just great. It's just a great movie. You could watch it without even liking Star Wars and appreciate it for the filmmaking skills. Anyway, enough bragging about that. Okay, now the Star Wars movie with the best production design is definitely Force Awakens. It's unbelievable the percentage of those sets that were actually practical. Plus, I mean, the props and the costumes, oh my gosh. It's amazing how far that technology has come in 30 some odd years. And also, I like the amount of grit. It's substantial. You know that Jakku's a dirty place, but it's not overdone like I found Rogue One to be. So it's a good balance. Now the best special effects, it's a two-way tie between Revenge of the Sith and The Force Awakens. The Revenge of the Sith had the best CGI in any of the movies, yes, even to this day, and The Force Awakens still has the best practical effects of any Star Wars movie. I mean, every single one of those explosions were real, which was mind-blowing, to say the least. And in Revenge of the Sith, Yoda especially, what there's a close-up on his claws as he's hanging over the edge, he looks totally real. And especially if you watch it on an HD TV, when he's walking, if you watch it on high quality, Yoda looks so real when he is walking beside Ewan McGregor and Jimmy Smits on the set of the Tantive 4. It's unbelievable. It's like you can reach over and pick him up. It's nuts. So yes, Revenge of the Sith and The Force Awakens, in separate categories, both have the best special effects of any Star Wars movie. Now the best space battle, I would have to say it's, ding ding, surprise surprise, Rogue One. The stakes weren't technically as high as some of the other battles, but the sheer number of crazy angles as you are following the X-Wings and the other fighters through space, and the number of large ships that was involved, and the thing that they had to do with those ships, and the attitudes of the pilots, and the banter, and the dialogue, that is hands down the best space battle I have ever seen in a Star Wars movie. It's great! See guys, there's something else I love about Rogue One. That space battle, you just can't top it. Of course, the higher stakes of A New Hope, the special edition, mind you, with all those great shots, pushes the space battle of New Hope into a close second, followed not far behind with Return of the Jedi. I mean, all those ships moving. And what makes Return of the Jedi especially impressive is the fact that every single one of those ships was a model. All of those TIE fighters going past the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon and firing at each other. The amount of compositing in that is just nuts. And that's also what brings it to a very, very close third behind Rogue One and the special edition of New Hope for the best space battle. Okay, now for the best ground battle. The best ground battle fought on terra firma has to be, in Episode 2, the Battle of Geonosis. I'm sorry, nothing else can top that shot with all these battle droids firing and 200 Jedi running out into the arena. That is just so darn cool. Plus the ground battle afterwards, the frenetic pace, sort of in the air, sort of on the ground at the beginning of the Clone Wars, that is still darn exciting. One of the things of Attack of the Clones that I absolutely love, and that's the point in the movie where I settle in and grab my popcorn and just enjoy it. It's great. Now, the Star Wars movie with the best chase, that's definitely Empire Strikes Back, when they're going in between the asteroids in the asteroid field. Combine the music with the different shots and all those different asteroids they had to stick in there. And there's one shot where the Millennium Falcon goes really close to one asteroid, and one of them comes so close to hitting it. Every single time that happens, it goes, is it gonna hit it? And I've seen that chase like 100 times. Now, for the Star Wars movie with the best music. Okay, this is impossible. 6 out of the 8 Star Wars films have got perfect music. 100% perfect. Sure, Every soundtrack had a couple of tracks that were a little bit on the weird side, sort of synthesizer, electronic stuff. All the music in Star Wars, with the sad exception of two, episodes 1 through 6 have got amazing film music. Every single one of those soundtracks is very repeatable. You can listen to it endless times, and each one of them has at least 5 tracks that you just want to hear over and over and over and over and over ad infinitum. You never get tired of them. At least I don't ever get tired of them. But if I had to pick a soundtrack, if I was absolutely forced, pun intended, to pick a Star Wars soundtrack that I've listened to the most, it has to be, again, The Empire Strikes Back. We've always lived in neighborhoods that were slightly dangerous, you could say, and there was a lot of noise from the neighbors and very thin apartment walls. And listening to the Empire Strikes Back soundtrack helped me go to sleep. Well, there you have it, guys. There is the Clumsy Jedi's Best of Star Wars countdown. If you guys agree, disagree, go ahead, post a comment below. As always, my only rule is keep it clean for the kids. So until next time, this is the Clumsy Jedi signing off. Bye, guys.